Hello, and welcome to Wisdom Women, the podcast where we meet empowered women and uncover the stories that shaped them. We dive into the role models who lifted them up, the moments that tested them, and what empowerment truly means and what it doesn't mean. From burlesque dancers turned breathwork facilitators to moms who moonlight as entrepreneurs, the wisdom here is raw, real, and undeniably contagious. So get ready to be inspired by the women who've come before. And today with us, I'm very excited to have Supriya Nabar with us today. So thank you for being here, Supriya.
Thank you, Rachel, for having me on your podcast. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. I was just reflecting back on like how long I've known you, and it's been a couple years now where we met at a women's networking group.
Right.
The thought of Toastmasters, which is it's a group where you can practice public speaking and communication and leadership, which I think has been around since like the 80s, right?
Yeah. Forever, I think it has been around. Like, I think even before that, I feel.
It must. It's a very old institution where you can practice. And Supriya was the president of one here in New Jersey. And then I came, and the rest is history. And it was this beautiful space of practicing empowerment and practicing being able to communicate and speak. But I know you do other things as well, Supriya. And
Yes.
I love our meet cute of how we met. But tell us a little bit about what you do and some of the work you do.
Yes, I'm a nutritionist and I'm also a cookbook author. I have had many lives, kind of. So I have moved around the world. Actually, I've lived in London, I have lived in Asia, I have lived in India, and things like that. So for me, I think everything is universal. So I'm totally open to new experiences in life. And one of the things I realized that I had done a lot for other people and I had not done anything for myself because as women, we try to do things for others, like there is a husband, there are kids. We try to, make them whatever they want to do. We try to help them out. And at that point, my kids were my main focus, but my kids left me and they went and started doing their own thing. And so I was wondering what I should do now because I had all this time in my life and I wanted to do something. And then I came up with an idea like I wanted to do a spice blend because I have a nutrition background. So I started doing nutrition workshops. I started doing other classes. And I'd started doing cooking classes too, but then I did not like those. So now I do only nutrition workshops and I do spice blends. Spice blends is something I wanted to do because I wanted to give value to other people's life. And how do I do that? So if I came home and I didn't have anything in my fridge and I wanted to have a quick meal for my family, I would take a chicken or something and add some spices to it and bake it in the oven. So that's how the idea generated in my head. And my vision. I started in 2023. I started the business and I have a cottage industry license. So I started my spice blends with 4 spice blends and now I have expanded it to 18. I'm going to add more spice blends to it. Like I have about another 5 to 8 spice blends in the pipeline. I also am adding more flavored salts like rosemary salt and lemon salt. I have 2 and I'm adding more. So why I did spice blend? Because it was the easiest thing to store. I didn't want to do something which was wet stuff like chutneys or things like that. But I will eventually expand into that once I establish myself. I also have I'm going to plan and do an expo in April 8th and 9th at Meadowlands. So I have done
In New Jersey.
in New Jersey, yes. And I got connected to this network of people. So I am going to expand on that and see if some manufacturer will help me to get the stuff out in the market,
Sure.
So that is my right now what is happening in my life. And I'm also doing I enjoy Toastmasters with Rachel. Rachel and I were supposed to be connected somehow. We met and we are in each other's life right now. So that is my story for now.
Okay. Well, just for now. I love that. Yep. For now, it continues. I mean, I love that you shared that about the spices because as a mom, I have to share that cooking is probably the most unhappy thing for me. It's one of those things that I think in motherhood, I mean, I think some people love to cook and that's okay, but like
I like to
it's
cook.
a time suck for me. Like I'll do it and I can do the basics and I'll do it, especially when I went through a period where my stomach was like not able to eat. I was in such like I had to really focus on my nutrition and really watch what was happening. So it became more of a focus that maybe I just, wasn't happy doing. But now, and I have tried your spice blends and used them in different ways and things like that. And I think it's about simplicity, like that one little supportive thing does kind of empower women to have more time in their life so they don't have to sit like many generations have had to do before, where you take your whole day to just do the meals and take care of the house.
And Rachel, I feel that there is so much to do in life, there is so much
Mhm.
stuff happening around us and to us. So I feel that, you don't want to slog yours in the kitchen all the time. So I want to do quick things and, get it out and just have a good meal, basically.
Yeah,
So
basically.
that was my major vision. And I have a vision like to expand the business and see how it goes for me.
Yeah.
But right now I'm enjoying my life. I'm doing things which I really enjoy, and I have a passion for cooking and nutrition. So I'm doing that also. I also have I met a nutrition recently, and we are planning to do some nutrition workshops together
Great.
with certain health benefits, like if somebody has a diabetes or somebody has high blood pressure or something, they can we can help them out. So that is my, and eventually I think the sky is the limit, because there is, in this spice blends, you could have like low salt spice blends, things like that for blood pressure people and people who have high blood pressure. So there are different options, and when we do brainstorming, we can learn from each other too.
Absolutely. I do. I feel like there's such an importance around I don't know if you think of like Maslow's hierarchy. There's like this the pyramid
Yes,
of like
pyramid.
your basic needs being met are at the bottom. House over your head, nutrition,
Right.
food, mental health. Like if we don't have those things taken care of, we really can't do the work, the other stuff that we're meant to do in this life. So what you're providing it's important. Like we need guidance sometimes,
Right.
I think,
Right.
in nutrition and I feel like women of generations in the past, you have your whole village around you of showing you how to cook, how to do this meal, how to eat seasonally with the seasons. And we've lost that a little bit. And I don't know. Of course, there's convenience and fast food and stuff like that. But
And for me, I feel that when I came into this country, I didn't have the support which other people had. Like,
right, right.
you have a mother or you have a grandmother or aunts or things like that. I did not have that. And to me, I was the only person who I can rely on, basically. So I felt that I did that, and now I don't need people to tell me what to do. I can do
Yeah.
it all, I feel.
You are the wise woman now. You are the sage, right? At that point, you do. You grow the
Yeah.
wisdom. So
Yeah.
that's really
That's
nice.
true. That's true.
Well, from there, that leads us right into our first question very nicely into the segue of what I ask my guests. And maybe that is something that you have a beautiful story to share because you are such a beautiful storyteller. Even in Toastmasters, we always say, like,
Thank you.
with Supriya's coming up, we're going on a journey. It's coming up.
Because life is a journey, Rachel. So
Life
life is
is
a journey, yeah. And we meet people. I mean, I met
ups
you.
and
That's
downs.
amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So, in your journey, who are some of the women that you feel have been role models in your life that have shown you about empowerment, those types of traits?
Yeah, I think my first role model was my grandmother and then my mother. These two women who were in my life. My grandmother was in the early 1900s, and she was in an abusive marriage, and she left her marriage, and she had two kids, and then she went back to school to become a teacher. So that I felt was something. And in those times in India, where people were not, it was not looked upon nicely for some woman to do that. And even when I was a teenager and I was listening to these stories which people were telling me about my grandmother, and I was like, oh, wow, could I do that if I was in an abusive marriage and I had like little kids? I don't know. I don't know that part of my I did not face that challenge. And my mother also was another, and she did very well because she raised her kids and then her kids became successful and things like that. So that was, and you need grit for that as a woman also, or as a man, basically, And then I had my mother, who did not have an abusive marriage, but she had married for love. It was not in her own, like in India, there is a caste system. So she did not, it was a totally different culture and things like that. So
Okay.
these two women I felt were, they were breaking boundaries even at that time. So I was like, I was in awe of them. And even though they were my mother and grandmother, I felt like, oh, I need to follow this path and I want to show some grit. Whatever the challenge comes in my life, I will be able to resolve that challenge and move forward. So that those are the two role models, I would say. And they are pretty good models, because I just learned a lot from them.
Well, I was just going to say this answers so much. Now I've never known this about you, Supriya, but now I see such that lineage of like,
Strong women.
absolutely, absolutely. So lovely. What do you feel like? I mean, as you watch your mother and your grandmother, and you know the stories of things that they've had to work through a bit, what were the qualities or the traits of that you feel can define an empowered woman?
Well, I think the first trait is having a resilience, that no matter what happens, you can quickly pivot and try to
Pivot.
do another stuff. The second one is, I would say, empathy. When you want to empower somebody, you have to have empathy in your own heart to give them something. So that was another one. Nurturing equality is also another quality which I would say empowerment for yourself as well as for somebody else. Another one is never give up. Never give up. If you give up, it's over. Game is over. And inner strength. I think inner strength and grit is very important in empowering yourself as well as others, because you can do everything. I mean, we are endowed with all the qualities we have, basically.
Mhm.
We don't need something from outside. People are looking for things to get from outside. We have everything in us. The only thing we don't know that we have it. So basically, if you have the grit, if I look at my lineage, I know the women there were strong in old times, and I'm in modern times now. So I think I can do it. I need the grit. I have the empathy. I have the nurturing nature. I can never give up attitude. All these things are needed for your business. If you want to develop a business, all you need is to have all these qualities, basically. Maybe you don't have one quality or so, but you need these qualities. And if you don't have, you can get them, basically.
Yeah. Well, I would love to hear more about, because I haven't heard that one on here before and I haven't thought about it. Really, that's so true about empathy and how, where, if we can connect with like how to be of service and how to like understand people around us. And I feel like women especially have that in a little deeper level where we can really, like as mothers too, like we have to read our children. We have to understand when they can't speak. Like
Right,
this is
right.
the needs they have.
Yeah.
But as an empowered woman, even further, some people might think empathy is what do they call it? Like a soft skill. Like
Yeah.
this is not important. And now that's shifting in the workplace. They're seeing office cultures are seeing the value in this being actually a required skill, and to be in management, to own a business, to be a leader. What do you think about that?
I think empathy is important because you need to figure out what the other person is feeling.
Mm.
You need to put yourself in their shoes and find out what you want, them to do, and how you can help them to grow. And this quality is in every mom, because a mom looks at her kid and she says, oh, this kid has this talent, so I need to
Yeah.
help that kid to get that talent, or like develop that talent, basically. And I'll tell you a story. Like my son, who is very good in computers, and he was very little, and I realized that this guy was great in computers. He really liked what he did, and he enjoyed it. And I said, go for it. And then he did it, and he is now a computer scientist. But that is how we need to help people to empower themselves, and that starts with our kids too. As moms, we can help our kids to grow and do better in their life, I feel. And so empathy is one important factor. Nurturing is another one, I feel.
Mm.
Tell your kids, never give up, no matter how difficult it is. And failure is a part of life.
Yeah.
So you can be, failure teaches us more than we can learn from success, I feel. And when they say that your success can be the starting of your failure, and your failure can be a starting of your success. So it goes either way,
Yeah.
So I think it is good to be success, because sometimes what I'm saying is here is when you are very successful, you get your head is in the air now, it's bloated, and you can go towards failure because now you're not paying attention to the. So basically you need to force yourself to figure out what I want to do, and attain those goals, and then attain whatever your desires or whatever your goals are for your business or for your life. That's what
Yeah.
I would say.
Agree. Yeah, I think sometimes we can hit a plateau. We'll get to that success and it's not like, it's just like in order to understand more, we have to become a student again, right? Like if it's this, and then do we as women who have been told, be strong, get through it all, and have a different method of saying, well, can I humble myself to say, I don't know again, and I have to learn again and begin? And that I'm hearing resilience in that too, as they were talking about
Yes.
resilience, like, okay, this thing is not working. I have to kind of make some tweaks, pivot a little bit, like you
Pivot, yeah.
said, and come out of it again. Because I think some people, I know a lot of people, that the hard part is that fear of failure. Because what does that mean? Is that mean I'm no good at this? Or does it mean, like you're saying, maybe there's more? Maybe there's more to learn here and to grow from that? What do you
Yeah.
think? Yeah.
I think learning is a lifelong process for all of us. I don't see that we can live and not learn, because think of it. We were little kids, and now we are like older adults.
Yeah.
So we have learned throughout the journey of our life, and we are still learning. We are still learning everything from our environment, from other people, whoever we meet in our life. We are learning, and we are also teaching them. If they come in our life, we are also teaching them how to do things. And that is what I think this empowerment is. You can teach people, you can give them strength. If you have strength, give them strength. If you have confidence and somebody you see doesn't have confidence, give them your confidence so that they can grow as a human being.
What would be, I am curious, do you have any story? I know I'm asking you this off the cuff, but like what is something that you've been through that reminds you of that trait of resilience that you've had to go through?
I started my business, and then it was not going very well in initial phases of the business. And I was like, but I did not give up. It is my resilience is one of my greatest inner strengths, one of the qualities of my inner strength. And I said that, okay, this doesn't work for me. What else can I do to make this, work for me? And that's how I started approaching it. I didn't say, okay, this is not working, what should I do, I should just give up. No, I wanted to do something else. So I started thinking on those lines. And then when you think on those lines, your whole mindset changes also. So you can, shopkeeper said no to me, and they said, I cannot do this. I cannot keep your spice blend. Okay, I'll take my goods and I'll go to some other shop. So you don't feel like you want to get your ego involved or anything.
Mm,
Somebody says
right.
no to
The
you,
ego.
that's fine. They had a bad day. They don't want to deal with me. That's fine. And I just make that stuff like not about me, but about my and not about my business, but it is just a matter of fact that that is how life works basically. So if somebody says no to me, two people say no to me, there are five people who will say yes to me. And so it will. So this is also a journey for me as in my business, that I have learned so much, and there is so much to learn. The more you learn, the more you know how ignorant you are as a person.
Yeah. I was just learning recently. I read something about the more and this was about if you learn a language that you stave off dementia for like 5 to 10 years or something, even for like it does something to your brain to constantly be learning, especially languages. I think this was New York Times that they were just sharing this, that actually this is what our brain wants to be
Yes.
a student, and that keeps the health in the brain. Have you heard anything like around, I don't know, I guess just being a student over and over again and
I
learning?
think I read like books. I am part of a book club. I read
Mm,
books. And that is what, because then you sometimes with books you learn different things, how those people are approaching life. You learn about a different country, and so I it keeps your minds active. And in our culture we all try to do exercise, and we are like so great at exercise. We keep our health good, right? And then it is fine, it's fine. but also you need to keep your mind active, because there is a connection between mind and body. So you have to keep your mind active to keep your health. Mind health is also pretty good, it has to be good. Otherwise, if you have a great body and you don't have a great mind, you're done.
Imbalanced, yes.
Imbalance. So I think that is what is important. Lifelong learning, I have figured out. And then I also give back to the community. You meet people, engage with them. And that is all keeps your network, brain networks alive, basically. And you won't get dementia, basically, when you are
Yeah.
old.
I love that. Being of service too. I think that's come up in other Wisdom Women podcasts. We talk about like the real empowered women. It's almost like I've got so much to give. Like it's
Yes.
not that scarcity mindset. It's like I have so much. I can give some away. I can mentor somebody. I can be of a volunteer in the community. Like, yeah, I think that's so true.
And I think, like, if you have a mindset where you come from abundance, if you give
Abundance, right?
abundance, if you come from abundance and not scarcity, then you will always have abundance in your life, no matter what you are trying to do. Either it is a job, either it is business, either it is your kids health, whatever it is. If you come from that mindset, basic mindset of abundance, there will be abundance. There is no other way you can do things. There won't be scarcity at all. Thank you.
I love that. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Priya.
Thank you.
And I think this is probably the time I feel like where usually with my guests, I pull an oracle card so we can kind of
Sure. Yeah.
like,
Let us see what we have.
what do we have? So I knock the card 3 times. So what we usually do is I'll start shuffling the cards, and cards I feel are it's just a fun little tool for us to kind of get in touch with our intuition, to see what we're thinking about things. And I love at the end of our conversations, usually they will link up somehow. So what I do is when I start shuffling, you let me know when to stop, and then I'll use that
Okay.
card.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Stop.
Okay. So this is the Kim Kranz deck. It's Wild Unknown. She's pretty popular. She has a lot of great, beautiful ones out. But the card we have pulled today is one of the Earth cards of the Spider.
Okay.
Okay. So let me get that out for us real quick. Okay. I have to pull it up because I didn't have it synced ahead of time. But I've done the Spider before. And what are we talking today about? Resilience. And here we go. This is so beautiful. I love it.
What?
It was connected with a little bit of Sanskrit too. Okay, so the spider is the creator of prosperity through life's work, your dharma. The spider is an ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it. Service,
We
like we're
just said
talking
that.
about,
Yeah.
both financially and spiritually. It is hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process oriented rather than results oriented. And soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry, and abundance follows. We're just
My
in this.
God.
When you're in balance in that good spider energy,
Hmm.
you're appreciative, you're enthusiastic, and you're prosperous. When you're out of balance, you can feel discouraged, tired, or forlorn. To bring it back into balance, it says, try doing playful creativity.
That is amazing. It is amazing. We were just talking about abundance and things like that. And yeah, I could be a spider, like I could build that tapestry, like weave that tapestry. So that is
Absolutely.
just amazing that this card was pulled,
I,
was what we were talking
it
about.
always happens, Supriya. I
Yeah.
promise you. Like
Yeah.
it's the exact card. And if anyone is watching this, if that resonates for you, I feel like
Yeah. It
once you get
resonates with
into
me.
the theme of this discussion, it's
Yes.
almost like a little icing on the cake. It's like
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes. Yes. I am so happy that I had this card.
No,
And
that's
thank you,
great.
Rachel. Thank you
I
for
will send this card
inviting.
to you. You can look at. Well, before we wrap today, and I'm mindful of watching our time, just let us know where people can find you. I'll also put it in the detail notes of this conversation, but tell us if anybody wants to buy your delicious spices, where they can find them and
Yeah.
information.
I have the spices on my website. It is called supriyaskitchen22.com. And you can, Rachel, add that
Yep.
to your
I'll
this
get your links.
podcast. and you can buy my spice blends there, and I'm going to expand in the future, so you can go on my website, but I'm also trying to push it in the market, the commercial market. And it is a long process. This is a spider thing, weaving the tapestry in the universe. So it is going to take me a little longer than I actually anticipated, but it will work out. It will
Yeah,
come up.
process oriented, not results oriented.
Yes,
I
yes.
loved that.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you
Right?
so much. Thank you. Very
Well, I
nice.
will get your details. Thank you so much, Supriya, for coming today. This is the beautiful story as always. And thank you so much for sharing your stories about your grandmother and your mother and all of the empowerment that you embody to me. You are definitely one of my role models, as
Thank
we
you,
all
Rachel.
are.
You are too. You are like one of those people who just gets things done. I think. Like same. We have the same energy. That's why we are
I think so.
together. So I think I'm so happy to know you, and I'm so thankful that I came across you and we got to know each other.
Love
And
it.
we have a long friendship to go and a
I
long,
think so. Many
yeah,
lives together.
many lives together. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you
Okay,
for
bye-bye. Thank
inviting me.
you. All
Thank you
right.
so much. I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Bye bye.